Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Estate Huddle, episode 14 this time. And we're going to be talking today about a topic that is kind of fun for some people to think about. If you've ever thought about like switching career paths, getting into the real estate industry, maybe you're just fresh out of college and thinking about that, or there's a lot of people that get into the real estate industry after spending 20 years in the corporate world and then coming over and doing something different. So if you've ever had that thought, this podcast may be interesting for you as far as how that is possible and what are the steps along the way to make that happen. So we all work on the same team here, just as a reminder, and we've been working together for multiple years, and we all have a story, as far as how we got into the business and started off. And so this will be kind of fun to just hear each person's story. And then we'll talk about some of the basic steps of what you need to do if you're looking to get into the real estate industry, as far as like passing the test and that sort of thing, the logistics, but also like how to be like successful in the real estate business and kind of some good fundamentals to set yourself up right. So, Jackson, since you're the youngest in the group, why don't you give us a little insight on like how you, like what the process was like for you?
Yeah, I wish I just went into real estate after high school. I think that would have been awesome to get a head start on everybody.
Tell us about your background, though. I want to hear about that.
Yeah, in terms of like work history or like
work, school.
Let's start from when you were born.
Yeah. So day one, I saw a bright light, and yeah. So I always have been kind of like a people person. I started out working in like the car industry at an auto dealership pretty young. But I went into like sales, and sales, for me was being a server at a restaurant for a while. There's, a lot of skills that you can build up there that are transferable to real estate, I think.
Totally.
And then I was going to the University of Missouri. I was out there, rethinking kind of what I was majoring in. And I was looking at real estate. And what I did is I just looked up all the top brokerages near me, called all of them and just said, hey, like, who's your top performer? I just want to learn. I don't care how much I get paid. I have time right now. And I just want to learn. And so I found somebody who had a great real estate team in Columbia, Missouri, David Ursery, shout out to him, and got set up as an ISA. So I wasn't even licensed yet. But I was helping, doing calls, prospecting leads for them. And through that, I was able to get a really good taste of kind of what it's like being in real estate. And I ended up liking it and gravitated towards it. So that's kind of what led me into getting my license and becoming a full-fledged agent. And then kind of a similar thing, I actually asked a family friend, and said, hey, I'm moving back to Denver. I got my real estate license. Do you know any teams that, are really killing it? And so I got set up with Landin, and have been doing real estate since then.
Through referral, right?
Yeah.
Trusted source.
Yeah.
Told you, hey, you got to listen to this guy. Come talk to him. Yeah, I'm so glad we got connected. That was awesome. And so Kristin on our team, she's our like office manager, basically like administrative assistant, but also like she's so much more than that. Like she runs our YouTube channel, our podcast, what you're listening to right now. She helps put those together. She's so talented in so many ways. And I've seen you grow, right, over the last 3 years and like just gain so many skills in the real estate profession. But you came from a different background as far as your work history goes and stuff. So tell us a little bit about where you've come from and your journey to get into real estate on the administrative side of things.
Yeah, so I worked in retail management for a really long time. So I worked in retail for 8 years and I was a manager for 3 years. So I think that's where like the management part came from. And then I got my bachelor's and master's in marketing. So then this kind of combines like the management aspect and the marketing aspect, which was awesome. And who doesn't like to look at beautiful houses all day, every day? Like, of course that's what we want to do. That's what we all want to do. Yeah. So it was cool to combine all of those, and it's awesome to be on a team that like allows a lot of creative freedom and allows like a lot of learning. And so I'm learning a lot about social media and just learning a lot about houses and real estate and kind of how to market a house specifically. So it's been great.
But so when we met, you were hustling, right? You were working 2 jobs at the same time.
Yeah.
right? And so working hours that you didn't really love,
Right.
would you say? So how's that different now?
Yeah, so it's nice because with retail management, it's like Christmas, New Year's, holidays, you're going to be working all the holidays. And then I was working at a gym at like 5 a.m. So I was working at a gym 5 a.m. to like 9 a.m. and then working in retail, crazy hours after that. And so after having like a lot of 15, 16 hour days, I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do this anymore. And just wanted to kind of figure out a different path. And I feel like when you submit a resume, you're 1 in 100 resumes and like you don't really stand out. So I figured if I could meet someone who could get to know me as a person instead of just me on a resume piece of paper, then that would hopefully help. So I made some connections at the gym that I worked at and wrote thank you notes to them, and turns out Landin really likes thank you notes.
I was
He's
one
a
of them.
sucker for a thank you note.
And I got to the gym, 5:05. I was probably 5 minutes late every day. That sounds about right. Realtor time, right? But I would be there bright and early seeing Kristin, and she'd always just be like super happy in the morning at 5 a.m. And I was like, what? Like how is this girl so happy, all the time? And she just like
says the guy who's happy all the freaking time.
Yeah, exactly.
But my friend Andy and I, my lifting buddy, we were always so impressed with like how you were up, alert, ready for the day, and just going for it. So I think you had a lot of like motivation, but you were in the spot where a lot of people are in, where you're just trading time for money, right? Mm-hmm. As much as you are, and you wanted something that just applied your skill set a little bit more as far as your degree and what you've really accomplished, academically. So yeah. It's awesome. I feel like it's been a great fit, and we're so happy to have you on the team. So
yeah.
You are definitely the all-star of the team, hands down.
So much.
No
hands
question.
Down.
I've never asked you, realtors are a specific personality type. Is it herding cats to be in a kind of administrative
I'll answer that
position?
for her. Yes.
Well, and I like that we're all outgoing and we're all like people, we're all like very people oriented. So I think that's a good team to be on. There's nobody on our team that's like antisocial or not social, because this would be a difficult field for someone like that, So yeah, but at the same time, everybody's kind of their own business owner, so it's hard to get everybody together.
Multiple businesses in one.
And hold people accountable, which is one of the things that you do as well. So
She is good at it
do a
too,
lot.
in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
She hits me.
Those
That's the way you gotta do it.
those morning huddle checklists, man.
Yep.
And I know if Kristin doesn't mark one off, I'm like, gosh dang it, I let Kristin down again. She didn't get to check that one off.
So we're hinting, right, as to like how our day-to-day looks and stuff, and we'll go over that, more later. But Spencer, why don't you give us your story as far as what your journey was and where you came from, background-wise?
So way back when, so Landin and I have known each other for a really long time. Our families have been friends since I've been born, I think, for a long time. So
Pretty sure I was at your baby blessing at church.
Probably, yeah,
Yep.
that most likely.
Way back in the day.
That's probably true, actually. But you grew up together, spent a lot of Christmas Eves with the Smiths and his family. So we've grown up a lot together. And when I went to college, I had different plans, wanted to go one route and got my degree in exercise physiology, and was planning to go into physical therapy and kind of go the sports medicine route. And researching the information and just having a come to Jesus meeting about the way I did things, I was like, well, this may not be the best route for me. So to transition from college to home and getting into like a different field that I could use my degree in, I started selling insurance, which was a freaking joke. No offense to your insurance salesman out there, but oh man, driving from I went to Fort Collins down to Trinidad, just every freaking corner of Colorado, and just I was making okay money, but the amount of driving I was doing, being away from the family, was just not what I wanted. So
Knocking on some doors, though, right?
Oh yeah,
A little bit of that experience.
I've done a lot of door knocking in my day. Yeah,
You drive to Trinidad and
Hate
someone
that
doesn't
one.
answer the door.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not a fun day.
being a missionary, being an insurance salesman, you
Yeah.
name it, I've knocked on a ton of doors. But so yeah, it was. I definitely learned some things from it. But coming as I was in insurance, Landin actually reached out to me one day. Was like, "Hey, I need some help with." You had a training question for exercise, and I was like, "Yeah, this is what you do." And he's like, "Well, you should come work out with me one of these days." So we started kind of doing that every once in a while when it would permit, and we started talking. He's like, "I think it was your idea." You're like, "Yeah, you should definitely look into real estate, and if you want to go that route, hop on board, and we'll teach you the ropes."
Once I saw how much you did on shrugs, I was like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
need to be in real estate. You need,
No,
to be,
no straps, no traps.
you need to be lifting people's burdens in their housing decisions.
It's a good joke. I wish I shrugged that much, but you reached out to me. We kind of built that relationship on top of the relationship we already had, and I knew from like a long time ago, even in high school, that I wanted to get into real estate. Whether it was more of like but it was more of like a investment stance. I wasn't planning on being a realtor or an agent by any means, but I had known your dad, I'd seen you, and a lot of other people be really successful in it. So that's kind of where I got into it, and we've been pushing 6 years now.
Yep. Yeah. Doing awesome.
So
doing great in business. It's
been
growing
good.
each year. So yeah, no, it's been great. It's been fun to see you guys just grow as agents and team members. And so for me, my background, I was, I grew up here locally. I was a native. Went to college at BYU, got a degree in advertising, but kind of took a 2-year break my faith is very important to me. So I served a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ, and went to Spain for 2 years, learned Spanish, came home. I was about to go sell pest control because there was a ton of recruiters trying to recruit return missionaries to go
Such a
sell
return
pest
missionary
control,
thing to do.
And
They almost got me.
knocking on
They
the
almost
door.
got me.
I was this close to buying a flight to go to North Carolina to sell pest control because I've always wanted to live in the Carolinas. And my dad called me and he's like, "Why don't you just get your real estate license and come work with me over the summer?" And my he's been a top producer in our area since 1983, and so I was like, wow, never even thought of it before. I've never wanted to do real estate, honestly. Like growing up, I saw my dad on the phone all the
What
time.
did you want to do?
I wanted to be a professional basketball player, but then I stopped growing at 5'11". So
And you're left-handed. So.
I thought you wanted to sell pest control.
That's pest control height right there.
But so I was like, it kind of like turned my head a little bit. I was like, well, what's this business all about, Dad? Like, how much can I make in this business? Like, what do you do on a day to day? And he started talking to me about it and what some of the activities were. And I was like, that sounds a lot like what I did, when I was a missionary, honestly, like with just different things of like finding people and then, helping like serve them and teach them, educate them on things and then take care of them afterwards, And so I was like, all right, I could deal with that. That would be something that would be kind of cool. And so I looked into it, got my license that summer, worked with them for 3 summers in a row. I would do my school and then I'd come home, between semesters and sell a few homes and then go back to school. And I ended up making as much as the pest control guys were making, if not more, selling homes. And it was a lot more fun because I wasn't knocking
But
doors.
you didn't get the cool vacations.
6 hours a day. Yeah.
You didn't get the cool pest control
That's
vacations.
true. Yeah, the reward.
Missed out on the
vacations.
cruises.
Right, that's the
all
big
the
pitch.
Bahamas.
Yeah. So it was good. It paid the bills, got me through school and everything, and I didn't have to work as much. I taught Spanish at school, but I didn't have to have like a full-time job when I was there. Got to focus on school a little bit more because of what I made in the summer. So that was a huge blessing. And then after that, I got licensed in Utah because my wife had 2 years of school left there. So I worked 2 years there, and then I came back to Colorado and I renewed my license here. And so luckily they're reciprocal states. So if you move from one state that's like bordering another one, a lot of times they'll be reciprocal, so you don't have to take as many hours. But it was great. One of the things that got me into the business was the training program called 100 Days to Greatness by Brian Buffini. And I took that program and I saw how like he dedicated he was to just like serving people and really like being there for them, like creating memories for their family through like events that they did throughout the year, providing just this like great high level experience for people that was so referable that they wanted to share with their friends. Like those were the kind of things that got me excited about getting into the business. It was like the people that I could impact and serve, you know, because I am a people person. I love being around people. And so that was a big part of it, and never looked back. You know, ever since we moved back here in 2012, we've been in the business and just, you know, both feet in, just love it. So,
well, tell us about the birth of the Dreamsmith team and how the transition of, you know, your dad to where we are now.
Yeah. So I had another 3 years on my dad's team when I moved back here, and then in 2015 I started the Dreamsmith team, and that was a really tough decision because I had a good thing going, you know, with my dad's team. I guess I learned that I liked the business side of things and like generating, you know, new business and that sort of side. I liked that more than most agents do, I guess. And so and I was confident in that, my ability to continue to do that. And so that's why I wanted to start and kind of spread my wings a little bit. My dad was very supportive of that. He was awesome, really, really nice about it. And I was able to move to Highlands Ranch and the office here and get started. And I really didn't have a whole lot of success as far as like, you know, bringing on team members and you know, really forming a team until 2018 when I got a different coach that really helped me to do that. But yeah, it's good. It's been a good journey. And so let's talk about some of these basics as far as how to get into getting your license, because that's what we promised people that we would say on this podcast. And the first thing is you got to look at your state's guidelines and figure out like how many hours do you need. I think in Colorado it's like 168 hours of class time.
I think it's 164.
Right? Okay, 164. So you got to do 164 hours of class time, and then you got to take 2 tests, right? State test and a national test. And so the state test is more about like Colorado contracts, the different like how to read a settlement statement for closings, how to you know, the ins and outs of all the contracts. And they do try to trick you a lot with the questions. So you got to read the questions slowly and make sure you don't speed through those. But it's a lot of information. The national one is all like a lot of vocabulary. It's basically a vocabulary test of all the different kinds of liens, of, you know, different ways you can take title. There's just a lot of that I remember. And
square feet in an acre.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, it's stuff that you rarely hear when you're in your local real estate jargon,
because it goes pretty deep in the books. I mean, the books are like thick, and there's 2 of them that you got to read and just digest a ton of information to be able to pass the test. And it's about a 6-week course for most people, whether you do it online or in class.
Yeah. Where did you take your
I did mine at Armbrist Real Estate Institute.
Was it in person or online?
In person.
Yours was in person?
Mine was in person. It was 3 weeks. It was the on steroids version of the test. So it was all mashed together in 3 weeks full time. It was like 7 in the morning.
Did they give you the question bank?
What's that?
Like just all the questions that are in the like that they can pull from for the test?
Well, they had like the mock tests that they do, and Armbrist kind of prides itself in the mock test being harder than the actual test. Like they're like, we'll prepare you really well. And so that's why I sent all you guys to Kaplan, because mine was too hard.
Yeah. So you did Kaplan too?
I did not. I did another one online.
Oh, did you?
I won't name or recommend because, I agree. The tests for like the education part of it were way harder than the actual real estate licensing test. And unfortunately for me, I had like one test where I kept failing it, but it didn't tell you what you got wrong. So I just kept getting less confident in the answers I already knew and like kept emailing the teacher, and they didn't really get back to me. But if you're okay with dealing with some stuff like that, you can do it online and do it self-paced, whether that's you want to do it on steroids and do it all in 2 weeks, or if you say, hey, you know what, I'm super busy, but over the course of this summer, I will slowly get through all of this. You can do it self-paced online as well.
Yeah.
I thought Kaplan was awesome.
Yeah, Kaplan's great.
Kaplan did a really good job.
I think Kaplan and Armbrust both have really good support and customer support. So if you're in a different market, you just kind of look up reviews on who's the best, who has the best system, and make sure they have online options, because I think most people are probably doing it online these days.
All of my CE courses too are through Armbrust and Kaplan as well. It's like $30 and take a course, and it's all pretty good. So
that's nice.
Gets you the credits you need.
Just one quick note, if you have to pay, obviously, for your licensing courses. If you're not quite sure if you want to do that yet, I'd say you can still get into real estate without being licensed yet. So I know these two got into real estate by going to the gym with Landin, but if you want to meet realtors, like I was in Columbia, a city I had never been in, you can go to open houses. A secret, if the open house isn't that busy, the realtor is kind of bored and wants somebody to talk to anyways. So those are great that you can go and meet a realtor, ask them, hey, what's this market like? What's your day-to-day like? And you can build up your connections that way. And then, working as an assistant or on the administrative side, there's ways to kind of get your feet wet if you're not quite sure you want to fully get licensed and jump right in.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of want to touch on the classes too. So it's like you take these classes, you take this test. So just so people out there know, are you taking the test every year? Are you taking the test every 5 years? How does that look to continue to keep your license? Or do you take the test once and then you have it forever?
It depends on if you pay for your license renewal.
So every 3 years, your license renews. And as long as you renew that license, pay the fees, and do your 24 hours of continuing education every 3 years. So
Which also includes 4 credits of a mandatory class every single year.
Yeah. So 8 hours a year is what it balances out to.
Yeah.
And so it's not too hard to keep it active. But for some people, they don't pay the fees, or they're not selling any houses. So they just kind of put their license on inactive, or don't keep renewing it. But the answer is one time. You take that thing one time, and then you just keep it active, and you never have to take it again. So
if you lapse, though, sometimes they require you to retake that test or recertify.
And how much money should people expect to spend to get their license and then to continue to keep their license?
Oh man,
I think it's about $1,000
I think
to get your license.
With school and the license, all together, I think I spent $2,000 maybe.
Is it that much?
It was $1,200 for the licensing itself, I think.
Okay.
I'd say maybe I was at $1,500, so
Okay.
1,000 to 2,000.
What?
Gotcha.
$1,500?
Yeah.
You mean they cheated me out of money?
I got the cheap online course, Spencer. You're forgetting.
No, I think it's kind of a large initial investment for first timers, but definitely worth it.
That's a great point too. Real estate is definitely a pipeline business, and I believe the failure rate within the first 2 years is 87%. I think a whole lot of that can be avoided by just planning ahead. I think the general recommendation is to have 6 months of savings before you go into real estate.
Yes.
Just because there is that lag between starting your business, closing the transactions, and getting commissions.
Totally.
So yeah, I would say if you're planning on starting in real estate and you may not have that money yet to get the license or something, get into real estate, work for somebody as an assistant, start learning it, and then save up money and go from there.
Mm-hmm. So you end up taking your courses, you take the exam, which national and state exam, you usually take them at the same time.
Is it 75% score that you have to get?
Yeah, it's 70 or 75%.
Okay.
Yeah. C's get degrees, baby.
Yep.
And then you have to apply for your license, right? So once you have the test done, you've got all your certificates and things like that, then you can apply for that license. And I can't remember, that was that fee we talked about, but I can't remember how long it takes you to get that license. It's pretty, I think it's a pretty quick turnaround. I don't remember. But on top of that, making sure you'll probably most likely need E&O insurance as well, and making sure that you're all set up to, if for some reason, heaven forbid, you do something wrong or you do make a mistake that costs a large amount of money, that E&O insurance will help you out a little bit, hopefully.
Yep, errors and omissions.
So
Yep, errors and omissions.
I'm a new agent. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's what I was going to say. I'm glad he.
Yeah, so I'm a
said
new
that.
agent. I just got my license. I got a 76 on both tests
Yeah,
by the skin of my teeth.
Overachiever.
I'm entering the real estate market.
Studied
I'm going
too
to do
much.
my first deal. I'm going to be totally prepared. I'm not going to have any questions. I can just refer to my licensing stuff, and that'll just answer all my questions, and I'll know what I'm doing, right?
I wish it were that easy. Real estate, I will say this. Real estate is one of the most, it's like an ever-changing market, or it's like an ever-changing industry. There's new regulations coming out every year. There's something new in the contract that comes out that we have to be trained on every single year. And if you're not up to date and taking those continuing education courses like you're supposed to, you're going to fall way behind, and you're not going to be able to serve your clients to the best of your ability. So, it's good in regards to that, like relying on your training and stuff. It's not that easy. That's why I joined a team. Yeah. When I was able to talk to Landin, I was like, oh yeah, I could do this on my own. But Landin's got a freaking good team. He's got a ton of experience behind him. And it's going to serve me a lot better than I would myself. So that's what I recommend.
Yeah, and I think being on a team, if you are brand new, it allows you the opportunity to ask questions to a lot of different agents. Some agents that have been in real estate for a really long time, and maybe some agents that have only been in for a couple of years. So you have a lot of resources as far as that goes, versus if you're on your own, it's a little bit maybe harder to have those resources.
Yep.
Yeah. Having support in general is really good. I know, obviously, we would probably all recommend joining a team and just being able to rely on that experience. And to find a team, I would just look up the brokerages around you, call them, try and talk to the managing broker and say, hey, I'm looking to get into real estate. Do you have a team that's doing really well and growing quickly that I could possibly join? Mm-hmm. And it might take a couple calls, but I bet you there's a team in your area that's looking to add somebody who's ambitious, licensed, ready to go. And even if you don't join a team, I'd say do a lot of research on what brokerage you join. Because there's some brokerages that they're just going to take your money for office fees. They're going to say, hey, talk to the managing broker if you have questions, and they're probably not going to help you very much, and you're going to be confused. So if you are a new agent and you don't want to join a team, I'd say make sure you're really picking a brokerage that's going to give you support and has a lot of ways for new agents to contact those managing brokers and get questions answered, et cetera.
Totally. Yeah, it's good advice. And I do think there's a lot of value in just the camaraderie of having other agents around you that are like, and somebody that's holding you accountable to do your activities. Because like so many people come into this business from the corporate world where they had a structure and a schedule for what to do every day. And you walk into the real estate office and nobody's there like telling you, like, unless you're on a team that's like pretty structured, there's no one that's going to like be like, oh, you need to make this many calls or you need to do that. Like, you're on your own if you're on an independent solo agent. And so it does help to have someone that knows like, okay, if you do this, then you're going to be successful, and holds you accountable to that, because that can be very beneficial for your income and just growth in the business for sure. Not to mention all of the ins and outs of what you need to do on transactions. It's nice to know like, hey,
I still ask Landin questions all the freaking time. I get upset with myself because I'm like, how do I not know this? Like, why am I asking him this stupid question? He's probably behind the phone saying like, why is he asking me this stupid question?
No, I'm always happy to help.
It's there's a lot of things that it takes a lot of time and experience to fully understand and commit to. So
really, you think you've seen it all. You will have a scenario come up that is just totally the last thing you could possibly imagine, and you have not seen it before.
Yeah, and I think what I've learned is every transaction is different. So, I mean, I feel like no transaction has ever been exactly the same. So sometimes there's bigger hurdles to overcome compared to others, but either way, go in kind of with a mindset of not knowing what to expect.
Yeah. Yep. And we've had like a professional coach ever since you guys have joined, that's been working, that I've worked alongside to help me and direct me as a leader, but also like help all of the team members, and help guide you guys in like, your goals and what you want to do, and give us like a pathway to know like, okay, here's how we need to go about generating leads, right, and earning business. I would say there's a lot of teams out there that the team leader is only interested in handing out leads, like online leads mostly, and not the training part. Like they don't really care about training or really building you, or especially they don't want to teach you how to fish or how to go out and earn your own business. They just want to hand out leads and keep collecting a split. And so that's one thing that like I feel like it's important. If you're a new agent, look for someone that's actually going to develop you. Like it's actually going to teach you how to do the business and how to create a thriving database that you can create a fortune with, and that's what the great people do in this business, the top producers.
Yeah, and I would say with that, if being a new agent, whether you're solo or on a team, look into those coaching opportunities, those coaching systems, whether it's Tom Ferry, we've used Viral Workman before. I can't say enough about Brian Buffini. Those big names, they really do train you and not only train you, but help you with your accountability. And they're constantly giving information on how to be better on activities you should be doing. They adapt with the markets and
your capacity to serve other people just goes way up.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And even if you're not wanting to go with their coaching systems and spend the money, at least subscribe to their podcasts and all of their medias. Because man, they've got tidbits of information that they just give freely that are so valuable.
They put a lot out there.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's
kind of
awesome.
like us. We put a lot of information out there too.
We try to.
So hopefully you've enjoyed today. Any closing thoughts, you guys?
I was just going to say for the type of person who should be a realtor, I'll just start off saying, like, if you don't like stressful situations, if you're not good at adapting to things on the fly, if you're not a people person, those are definitely things where it might not be the job for you. But if you have an entrepreneurial mindset, you want to be your own boss, you like talking to people, you like a job that's different every day, then I'd say it's a really great job for you.
Yeah, totally. And every single person on our team has taken a disc profile test, like to see where you're at as far as that stuff goes before you've come on board. And so I think that disc profile tells you a lot about who you are, and it doesn't mean you can't develop into different things, but I think that gives you a good base of like, okay, what's the best fit for you? What seat should you be in? Sort of thing. So that's a good point. Awesome. Anything else, guys? Close it out. Okay. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you for episode 15.